Cheers.
Cheers. Well, it's that time again. I'm Annie.
And I'm Susan.
And this is
Two Friends,
One Chat. We are going to talk today about...
Just period. End
The-
of sentence. We're going to talk today. Get
And
ready.
Get ready.
So that was a little aggressive.
I liked it, though. It was, like, I
You
feel like you need to be in a power suit
Yeah.
with, like, shoulder pads, you know? Today, we're gonna talk.
Yeah.
It felt good.
Yeah.
Like, you're charging into the boardroom. We've got, like,
Yeah.
super high Louis Vuitton pumps in.
Well, no. If
I'm...
I'm going in the boardroom,
Mm-hmm.
it's not going to be in pumps.
Mm.
I don't need to be in pumps.
Okay.
I'm going to wear my sensible flats. Because I need to be comfortable to present.
It's true. True.
Gotta be able to do like a high kick. It's gonna be a pantsuit. Because you never know when you need to do a high kick.
Hey, you nailed that
For
presentation.
emphasis.
Oh, in the presentation.
In the presentation,
I love
not
this.
at somebody. I'm just
maybe.
just while I'm presenting, and then you hit it right, and you're
Hit
like,
the high.
yeah, and you high kick.
And you get that account.
Yeah,
Which is apparently what business people do. I don't know.
I did it. Got it.
Closed the deal.
Won it. Stamp.
Yes, definitely
Got
made
a stamp of
deals.
approval on that deal.
Does this show how little business sense
Yeah,
we
no,
have?
we got none. We got none.
We are social workers.
I did do a presentation recently, but I didn't high kick at all.
Oh, I'm kind of sad, but also tell me what the
It was on grief, so you don't
Oh.
really want to high kick and grief. But I brought the funny in. You know, I brought the funny in.
Stop. Can you imagine hiking and get a grief presentation?
I could probably make it work. If anyone could make it work, it would be me.
Stop. Oh my gosh, I feel like that is a Saturday Night Live skit. Like, that is the funniest thing I've heard in a while. Just,
I'll work on it. I'll see.
Okay.
I'll pull that PowerPoint back up and see where I can add a high kick in.
I believe in you.
I bet I could.
I know you could.
Probably, I'd start it off with a high kick is probably what I do.
Like, you gotta kick grief in the butt.
Well, but don't kick grief in the butt. We want to more like give grief a hug,
Aww.
not kick it in the butt.
Embrace grief.
Embrace.
Yeah.
Grief.
And we are going to talk about feelings today, so this is totally on topic, but
Bam and bam.
feel your feels.
Chimpanzee riding on a Segway, man. We just segue right. Have you not seen that video?
No!
Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Chimpanzee riding on a Segway. Ba 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 ba.
Well, we're going to have to post that.
Well, yeah, it's a chimpanzee riding on a Segway. And he's got I think a helmet on and some clothes.
Do people now say, like, sliding into transitions like a chimpanzee on a Segway or something?
No.
No, you just made that
I
up?
made that up.
God damn it, you're funny.
Because Segway, and
Yeah.
like we were segueing
Yeah.
into, I think you may have said the word segue
Wow.
into feelings, and my brain immediately
Yeah.
started singing chimpanzee riding on a Segway.
Because here's the thing. Our minds are so sharp in the morning.
Yeah.
You guys, we have moved to recording in the mornings.
Mhm.
And it's, I'm better at it.
Oh my goodness.
The creative juices,
They're a flowing.
yeah. And I think I've said this before on the podcast, but it's true, and this is how I refer to myself. I am a blooming flower in the morning,
Yeah.
and then by afternoon, I'm wilting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I need
Just water me and leave me alone.
water
okay?
me, leave me
I'll
alone.
be fine to get in the morning.
You put a little wine in the water.
Well, yeah, I meant just give me some form of liquid. I probably have already drank my water. By nighttime, I need
That's
wine.
true. That's actually very
So
true.
drink my
Yeah.
water all throughout the day.
That's good for your health.
I got a giant cup in the car.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I got my big ol' there it is.
That's
my little
also
half
a
gal.
new thing I'm doing.
Mhm.
I think I don't want to start collecting cool cups, but I enjoy like the cup I just got you for your
Oh,
birthday.
it's so cute.
Like I enjoy drinking water more when it's in these like fun cups. And I have like 2, 3, but I want like a bunch so that every day I get like a new cup to drink out of. Because I get so tired of the one. So I'm thinking I've got like a whole basket full of them. I'd be like, which one fits my feeling and my outfit today? Yeah.
I have so many ideas for a Christmas present for you.
Okay.
This is gonna be really fun.
Okay.
For all our listeners, I have recently had a huge revolution in my crafting career.
Woo!
There's a thing called a Cricut machine. Here's my fantasy.
Crickets have been around forever.
I know.
You're way late to the
Hey,
game.
Cricut, I want you to sponsor us.
Stop it.
Because I will tell listeners all the things I do with the machine. It's for any machinists out there, it's a tiny CNC machine, right? So it's going to cut, and I have been making shirts, but I can also make cups, so I can design anything I want on a cup for you.
Stop.
And I've got some very fun ideas.
I'm in.
Oh my gosh. Okay, to be continued. That'll get posted. We'll show.
Gifts is not my love language, but I'll take them.
See? There you go.
No!
There you go. And also, it's kind of one of those things.
Hashtag throwback.
Hashtag throwback!
Just an episode ago. I won't say a few minutes ago, but an episode ago.
Oh gosh, I love that so much. Okay, for reals.
Okay, sorry. Back to business.
Back to business.
Put your power suit back on. Let's get back
power
to
suit.
business.
You guys can't see, but I'm pulling up my sweatshirt, so it looks like I have.
Of course, we have shoulder pads.
Yeah, absolutely. We're power suiting it today. Power suit, power tie.
Yeah. I kind of like it.
Okay.
Right.
That's the vibe for today. Which is hilarious because we're
It's
also
not the
talking
vibe.
about feelings.
Okay.
Which is like the opposite of that.
That will never be our vibe.
Good Lord.
I think we're both in sweats right now.
Honestly, and it's kind of matchies. Although I'm not wearing yoga pants usually. I'm actually wearing sweatpants.
Actual real sweatpants.
Wow, they're so comfortable. So comfortable, you guys. Okay. We are talking about feelings today.
Yeah.
And I think this is probably one of the most important topics we can talk about.
Yes.
Because it's kind of a precursor to our next episode. But in this episode, we're going to explore more feelings than just anger. I think everyone is, and it is like brain science wise, it's the quickest place we go.
Yeah.
But there is so many more feelings attached to that, and then outcomes of those feelings.
Yes.
And how those present. And I had no feelings training as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any input?
I got in trouble for having feelings as a child.
Me too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to note that specifically we're talking, because we talk about feelings every day, right?
Mm-hmm,
I mean, that's what we do. On this podcast, personally, professionally.
All the time.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
But more about identifying them.
Yes.
Like, really whoa, you're feeling a feel.
Yeah.
Let's look at it and really figure out what that is and where it's coming from.
Which I think is a great point, because I think this is why our brains switch so quick to anger, or what presents as anger.
Yes.
Because feelings are going to take over your whole being, right? And when that happens and you're in overload, you go into #throwback, fight, freeze, get on your knees.
People please.
People
get on your
please.
knees. All of them.
All
All
of
of
them.
the things.
So I think that mostly presents as anger. So I would say a precursor to going into full fight or flight is going to be, if you don't know how to identify what you're feeling, I'm just mad about it.
Oh, 100%.
I'm overwhelmed. Now I'm mad.
Yeah.
So I think feelings, like putting words to feelings and understanding kind of some categories, some basic categories.
Yeah.
Can be eternally helpful. We're going to post on our Instagram. It's a pretty standard feelings wheel.
Yes.
And what I love about this wheel is it's got 3 layers, and first we're going to talk about that core layer.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this may be familiar for people. It certainly did not come naturally to me, because any feelings, it was just kind of
bad.
We're bad, and you're making trouble feeling them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually getting in trouble.
Yes. Yep.
For having and saying your
Yeah.
feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Oof. Ouch.
Yeah. And I think generationally we're now learning, hopefully, like we're really evolving, because certainly like my grandmother's generation was even worse at it.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
Sure.
they were like, not just don't talk about them, stuff those feelings down.
Stuff them. Yeah.
And what do we know
Yeah.
as practitioners? If you stuff shit down,
It's gonna explode.
and
It's
it
gonna
will
come out somewhere.
And yes, and I can't stress that enough. If you do not process,
And it'll come out in places and ways you don't want it to or mean it to.
100.
That's the other
yes.
piece.
Yep.
Is it comes out at the wrong place, wrong time, wrong person. Happens every time. Happens every time.
Just like boiling noodles.
Yeah.
You put the lid on, it's gonna go fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you maintain it, if you take care of it, if you know what I mean, like it won't boil over. Like,
yeah.
and it's so anyway, okay,
Yeah.
I'm getting so excited about this because we are two very empathetic people, and I feel all the time, all the feels, and honestly, I kind of used to hate that about myself. Now I love it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that you love it.
It's a
'Cause
super cool
wonderful part of you.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And it is a, like, truly, I do think being an empath is a gift. And I think
Yeah. Yes.
I do want to make a really quick distinction, though.
Always.
And this is kind of a gray area. Sometimes extreme exposure to trauma, or if you grew up in a household where your safety relied on your parents' mood, you can be hyper vigilant and attuned to people's needs.
Oh my goodness, yes.
It can present as empathy, and truthfully, it can be empathy, but it also can be a trauma response. So
Sure.
I want to be really careful as we talk about that, because I think some of my empathy is a byproduct of survival mechanisms.
Sure. Okay.
But it wasn't until I was in like a really safe space that I had really positive mental health and was able to explore those things that I realized my empathy is actually a really great gift.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed really great boundaries for myself. I needed positive mental health. I needed to process a lot of trauma, which is arguably how I got my empathy shaped.
Sure.
So I just, those are pieces I kind of want to table. And if you are a hyper empathetic person, it may be worth exploring that this might be connected to some trauma I need to process. So
yes.
I can have this awesome gift.
Ooh.
That's all.
Yes. So you can kind of turn that negative into a healthy positive for you.
Right.
So you keep that beautiful part of yourself.
Yeah.
But work through that trauma that got you there. So now you're owning it.
Yes.
Now it really is yours.
Yes.
It's not anyone else's, and you're using it the way you want to.
Yeah, it's like greatest strength, greatest weakness,
yeah,
right?
100%.
Really honing that into more of a strength. Yeah.
Like a sculptor.
Oh my God.
Like a sculptor you are.
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh.
I am an artist at heart.
You are.
It was pretty funny. We were having a siblings dinner. I have 2 siblings. I love them so effing much, you guys. They're the best. And siblings, spouses, we're all hanging out, and it's really fun. No kids. Just wonderful. Pre-COVID, we did it every Christmas. And my sister posed a question. She's like, if you could do anything, like, money, you didn't have to worry about money or anything like that, what would you do? And I was like, I would just create. That's all I would do. I would paint, I would podcast, I would make shirts, I would literally, that's all I would I want a room in a house, maybe with like, and that's Erin and I's goal, so I have a shop,
Yeah.
and I just want to make shit.
Oh.
And just love it. Wouldn't that be so fun?
Yes.
Oh my God, that's my fantasy.
That's beautiful.
Someday. And that's how I'll retire. I'm just going to make shit all the time.
Great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
I can't wait.
I'm totally
wait.
getting distracted.
We're talking about feelings.
Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Focus back on identifying our feelings.
Bring it in.
We digress. That's what we do.
It is what we do.
Back to identifying feelings.
So let's start with kind of some core feelings instead of, I think we were probably raised to know when we're sad, or have an idea of like, you're crying, you're sad, you know,
Sure.
you're mad, you're yelling, you're happy. That's where we're supposed to be all the time.
Right.
You know, that's like, you better be happy.
You're prettier when you smile.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't tell
That's
you.
a whole nother episode, but
Oh.
that's the sort of thing, right? Yeah.
Oh,
We're always supposed to be there, smiling and...
when I was a server and a bartender, I got told that all the time. And one time I was on the other side of the bar, and a dude said that to the bartender, and she chewed him out.
Yes!
I tipped her so much money. I was like,
all my money. You get all of it.
I literally was like, I think we had one drink and I tipped like $20.
Yes!
And I was like, I just need you to know that was like the most fulfilling experience. Like,
Yeah.
like it was so awesome. She was out, and I was way too passive aggressive to do that. Like, I would just be like, I just wouldn't smile.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's a thing you said. Ugh.
Sorry.
But you're 100% right.
Shake it off.
Especially as females. It's
Right?
cool
We're supposed to be in that happy
all the time.
place all the time.
It's okay if men are angry.
Yeah.
That's like sexy.
Yeah.
But we gotta be happy, happy, happy. So, the wheel that we picked, again, pretty standard, has a bit more of an expansion on those core pieces. And I really like it, especially because it'll kind of hashtag throwback to a couple different of our episodes. So, there is mad.
Right.
Okay.
It's checked out.
Sad.
Yeah, we got that one.
Mm-hmm. Scared.
Oof.
That's a really good one. I don't think we're really taught necessarily to identify that feeling right away.
100%.
Peaceful.
Yeah.
Which I think is, I would say, would be the ideal, not this happy, you know, like, but, you know, societally, I think we lean towards, like, happy being the ideal.
Yeah, no, like 100% right, because I think when we think of peaceful, what we think of, like, someone that has, like, no cares in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And they're just...
Oh, yeah.
Right?
A hippie.
Yeah, yes! And I think society has turned that, unfortunately, into a negative.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Where, really, I think that's all we're trying to get. I mean, let's look at nature, right? Homeostasis. That's the whole... Naturally, that's what everything and person and being and planet is trying to achieve, right?
Yeah.
Is this kind of peaceful balance of things. So, but you're right. I don't think I ever even heard that word.
I think anger usually sums up anything that can put us quickly into fight or flight.
Yes.
And it's like this weird blanket statement, but there's just so much more there.
Yeah.
And this one is really interesting now that you say that, because it's kind of, the other one is an identification of feeling powerful.
Okay.
So,
which is a new core feeling for me. I hadn't heard that one before. And right off the bat, I don't love it.
Oh.
So I'm excited to explore a little more.
Oh, man.
It feels aggressive to me.
Well, here's the thing is like, okay, you're right. It does feel aggressive. And I think society has maybe labeled a lot of things that we see as positive
yes.
in the powerful category, and we have really hyper valued those things in people. And they're not negative on their own, but our overemphasis on them is not good.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah,
society's a real son of a bitch.
It is a son of a bitch. Did you know what's really interesting? I was listening to this introvert extrovert thing, which I will do an episode just sheerly on the differences, but it was a psychologist talking about how society values one over the other, and that people that are extroverts by nature actually have a lot more positive outcomes because our society really values extroverts.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And, like, I think if you're an introvert and you don't understand that, you're going to try to live to this standard and just stress your whole self out. And so it was really fun to explore, and we will deep dive into that, because I thought I was an extrovert for a long time. I am not. Nope.
We are extroverted introverts.
Yep. I love people. And I need about a 72 hour nap.
But they tire me out.
Oh.
I'm exhausted afterwards.
My energy.
And it's so weird when you meet a true extrovert that
God.
like is just jazzed at the end of the party. I'm like, yes, it was a fun party.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go to bed and I don't want to talk to anyone for 2 days, okay? And they're like, wow.
Totally.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me. I love it. We need them all.
We need them all.
We need them all.
We need them all.
But
I can always tell, like, an extrovert, because I can, like, sit and have a great conversation, and I can go a long time, like, even, like, 3 hours.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I'm like, we're done. Like, and it's like this weird, like, my face glazes over, and I can just see this person. They are loving it, and they're like...
Your battery literally has drained.
And theirs...
It's empty.
It's just
You've been
pumping
filling
up.
theirs up.
Pumping up, pumping up.
Keep going.
And now I'm like, oh my God, if I don't get a 6-hour nap soon,
Yeah.
I will evaporate into nothing.
I'm so glad you said that. That's my realtor.
Oh no.
He's an extrovert. Now that you're saying that, he's a legit extrovert. That's why. That's all kind of bringing it.
Yeah, perfect job for him.
He never wants to get off the phone, and you know how much
Sweet
I love
Jesus.
talking on the phone.
Sweet Jesus.
0. I hate talking on the phone.
I mean,
anyway,
she hates it, you guys. You need to know. The level is so high. I also don't love it, but yours is like a new next level. It's kind of adorable, actually.
Sorry, we digress.
We digress. Okay. So let's recap our internal, like the core feelings.
The core feelings, yes.
We've got sad.
Sad.
We've got mad.
Yes.
We've got scared.
Mm-hmm.
We've got joyful. Oh, we didn't touch on that one yet.
Oh.
We've got joyful.
Okay.
We've got...
Which we kind of called happy, I think, earlier on.
Yes.
But on this wheel that we're going with today, it calls it joyful.
Correct.
Interesting thought.
Which I think is helpful because it makes the distinction between joyful, powerful, and peaceful.
Oh.
So I think our society has lumped all that into happy.
It broke happy into sections. Now this feels more like the wheels I'm used to.
Okay.
Broke happy into sections. Love it.
Okay.
Love
yes.
it. Okay.
And I'm just really excited to talk about this. But and the visual is really helpful. And I encourage you, if you grew up where talking about feelings was not appreciated, or in a lot of circumstances it was considered like violent that you were even talking about your feelings. I use violent in a loose term. I recommend printing this off to help you identify kind of what's going on. This is so interesting. When I grew up, I feel all the feels. It is who I am, and I love that about myself now. Mm-hmm. But if I cried, and I cry at like anything.
Oh, I love you, but you're a crier.
Oh my God.
For sure.
I used to feel so much shame around that. But now I'm like, fuck it, man. Like,
cry.
It produces like all the good chemicals after you're done.
So good for you.
I used to think it was shame. I'm like, this is a goddamn gift.
So good for you.
I just
let it out.
Listen, Fred Meyers, we need to have a chat. Your Christmas commercial.
Oh no.
Fucking broke me.
Oh, with the grandpa that finds a recipe book. That one?
Oh my God, Susan. Aaron and I were like on like a little staycation like weekend, you know. We're about to like go camp in the van in our like driveway because we're children.
Yes.
And I'm standing there and we're like getting like the blankets, and that commercial comes on, and I just start like weeping. Like, it's a beautiful commercial, right? Like he like sees his granddaughter. When he looks at his granddaughter, he sees like his wife who's clearly passed. Oh my God, Freddy's. And I just like look at Aaron and I was like, this is such a sad commercial, right? And the tears are coming. And he's like, yeah, it totally is. And then we like get all our stuff in, and I like can't quite manage, but we're like kind of bustling getting our things. Yeah. And he looks over and he's like, oh my God, that really did affect you. And I'm like, it was so sad. Anyway, Freddy's, that's rude. It's mean.
Yeah, but you identified.
Oh man.
That it was hitting you, right? It was hitting you in the feels.
Yeah.
So you cried, which is appropriate to do when you're hitting the feelings.
And felt no shame for it.
No, exactly.
Still had fun.
Exactly.
Still camped in the van. Didn't ruin anything.
Yes.
Just a part of my day.
And think of if you hadn't identified that feeling, tried to stuff it, and then it would have come out later and ruined your fun camping trip.
Oh, yeah. No, I just let myself feel it.
Feel your feels. Identify them and feel them.
Also, Freddy's, come on. You did me dirty.
It's not.
You did me dirty.
Let's have a joyful holiday season. Calling out the feelings well.
Love that.
But also, Good for you, Freddie.
But
Because you got to get people to feel their feels.
you're like, one for Freddy's, and I'm like,
Sorry.
ready to fight. I'm like, come here, Fred Meyer. Come here. I know you're in your
I
grave
love
somewhere.
anything that they get people to feel their feels. I love it. Do it again.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Okay, so I think kind of the distinction, and I don't want to say this in a way that's positive, negative, because I think, again, right, like that's a juxtaposition, but
None of these are positive or negative.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yes, say it again. None of these are positive or negative.
How you use them
Yes.
is when they become helpful or unhelpful.
Feelings just are.
They are so awesome, and they
just are.
Yeah.
They're not good or bad.
If you have them, awesome. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's process. Let's put
If you
words to
don't,
them.
that scares me.
There's
You don't have any feelings ever?
Hey, I'm a social worker, strength based.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
And I work with people that have they struggle producing empathy, right? And a lot of times I think that happens a lot in our formative years.
Yeah.
And so I think that there are massive strengths for people that don't have feelings.
Okay.
Yeah. It is honing those. I mean, in our society, we kind of overvalue people that don't have a lot of feelings, I think.
Okay.
It's easier to succeed in a capitalist society without
Sure,
feelings.
if you don't care. Yeah.
So I think strength-based, there's actually some professions where you can kind of crush it.
Oh, professionally? For
Mhm.
sure. For sure.
Mm-hmm. And even relationally. There's this great book, and I gotta look it up. So it's a guy who was studying, quote-unquote psycho killers, right? And their brain anatomy and how they don't produce empathy. And he thought it was, so interesting, so he's really diving into it. And then he took the same test they did and realized he also doesn't produce a lot of empathy. But he had a different upbringing, right? So he knew,
used it for good.
yeah, and he
in a
knew
way.
pro-social behaviors, right? Like, he had boundaries. He didn't kill a bunch of people. Not that
Right.
we know of. Be kind of an awesome twist, though.
Okay. Oh,
but he
waiting for that book.
Totally.
Okay.
But, in the book, he talks about how he talks to his wife about it, and she's like, and his kids, and she was like, oh, yeah, you totally struggle with that, and this is how we've adapted, and, he was like, oh, my God. So, it's a great comment on nature versus nurture. So, sidebar, there's tons of strengths in producing less emotions, and it's good to know if you do or don't. So either way, let's put words to shit. Yeah.
But knowing.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Okay.
Knowing is half the battle.
It really is.
I mean, they were right.
Real American heroes. So we've got our basic 6 core. Again, none of them are positive. None of them are negative by nature. They are the feelings you have.
Yes.
Thank
you.
I think one thing very cool about feelings is what an indicator they can be for how balanced we are, right? So if you're spending too much time in one of those categories, I think it is a helpful tool to know, one, is this really what I'm feeling? Like, if you're like, I'm mad all the time, let's explore that.
Yeah.
Are you? Let's see what else could kind of fall in there, and we're going to talk about the layers. Or if you're spending too much time happy, I mean, people that are in a manic state can really experience this, right?
Yeah.
So I think any level at which we're talking about feelings, or if you're not feeling them, right? It's such a healthy discussion because it is so much of our being. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the wheel really fast.
Okay.
So we've got our core. What's cool about this is it's going to explore, you're going to have an outer layer, and then, of course, our final layer. This is by no means exhaustive, right? This is just
Oh my gosh, no.
a platform for discussion. But let's take mad, since we know that anger is one of our quickest emotions, right?
Yep.
So in the second layer, we're going to talk about are you hurt? Do you feel hostile? Are you angry? Are you in a rage state?
Oof.
Do you just really hate something that's going on right now? Or do you feel like you're just wanting to criticize people around you?
Oh.
And that can look it can present itself like jealousy, selfishness, you're frustrated, you're furious, you're irritated, and you're skeptical. So it's kind of starting to understand this is the basic emotion and this is what it can present itself like.
So when I'm feeling maybe one of these outer layers, not really sure where it's coming from, that helps me identify what that core feeling really is.
Yes.
That I'm struggling with.
And I think the inverse is also true, right? So if you're really mad about something, I think a lot of times we're not quite even sure what we're mad at.
Oh, so you can work out and
Yes.
realize, oh, it was that piece of criticism or whatever.
Exactly.
Gotcha. I hadn't thought about working out.
And I think the nice thing about working out is it gives us a platform to then process that why. So it's like, so say, this is very applicable. Say you're working and you get just the worst, cattiest email.
Okay.
And you are super irritated.
Yeah.
Well, no, let's just say you're mad. You're not sure why you're mad, and it's spilling over into everything else.
Yeah.
So you can be like, okay, what am I really feeling right now? And you kind of break down. So you're starting like, oh, I'm so mad. Break down, break down, break down. You find that email, and you're like, oh, this is actually why I'm upset. This is what I'm feeling. Now, how do I cope with that? To get myself back to where, like a baseline.
Back to baseline.
You don't want to live in anger. Nobody wants that. Mad is a hard emotion to feel. It's hard on your body. We know it's hard on your blood pressure, right? It's like all those things. So it's, I think, a way to identify and work out.
Right.
And also to keep a meter of how often am I here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it'd be harder to just process mad, right? You need to work out to figure out what that thing is and process that thing that triggered that feeling.
Yes.
Because it's hard to process just, probably almost impossible to just process a feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to figure out why you're feeling that feeling.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Which is so interesting, and trauma really messes up our ability, you know, because like brain science wise. So I think if you have experienced any level of trauma, and we're all humans, I think most of us have, a feelings wheel can be so helpful because a lot of those lines are blurred because we're just forced back into fight or flight, right? So I think giving words to what you're feeling, and again, anger is a hard emotion on our body. We know that. We don't want to be there very long. It's important that you feel anger. There's a lot to be angry about, right? Like, there's more than just emails. I just use that as a very light example. And the effects of anger on our body are hard. So we want to find ways to identify what we're feeling so we can apply our coping skills and we can get ourselves to the self-care piece.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
Wow. Instead of just walking around saying, I'm mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Let's let's take that first level of mad. Okay, are you mad? Or did somebody hurt you? Are you mad? Or like, are you feeling hostile? Like you're just like, oh. And if you're feeling hostile, why are you hostile? And I think hostility, the byproduct of hostility is kind of like selfish. And that's good, right?
Oh.
Because then you can monitor like, oh my gosh, I'm being selfish right now. Like, because usually hostile people hurt people. I think that's selfish is a pretty good byproduct of that. So and it's really like exploring these connections and so let's try another one. Let's try let's go the opposite and go peaceful. So like anger and peaceful I think are pretty good opposites. And again, we know if you're peaceful, that is not hard on your body. That's
good. Yeah.
So and again, you should feel anger. So again, not negative.
No.
We just want to make sure we're not staying in that space too long.
Right.
Yeah.
But also I would think just as important to figure out what is it that's making you feel peaceful.
Yes.
So you can continue to bring more of that in. So again, working your way out. You're knowing like, hey, I feel really peaceful and content right now. Like, why?
Oh, I love
so
that.
So you can keep more of that coming in.
I love that.
Oh.
Okay, so let's explore the second level.
Explore.
So when we go to peaceful, you're feeling content. You're feeling thoughtful. You're feeling intimate. I love that because relationship is beautiful. You're feeling loving. You're feeling trusting. And you're feeling nurturing. So like a byproduct of peaceful are going to be these basic presentations. You'll be content. You'll be nurturing. You'll be trusting. And I think what's beautiful about Peaceful and why I think it's such an important one to look at is the byproducts of it are a mind at ease, if
Right.
you will.
Right.
And so you are relaxed, you're sentimental.
Sure.
That's beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And thankful? Do I see thankful in there?
Oh, yeah, you do. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And those are, not to say by any means, again, feeling your feelings is extremely important.
Yeah.
None of them are positive and negative, and we know that your body is going to have a longer life,
Yes.
better blood pressure, better cholesterol, less heart disease,
Yes.
the longer you're able to maintain in that peaceful category. So I think identifying those and doing exactly what you said is almost like working backwards. You're like, oh my gosh, right now I feel really content. Why?
Yeah.
How do I replicate that and build on that and produce that more of a strength, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's huge.
It makes me think of Oprah and her gratitude journals. Right?
Oh, yes.
Like her goal
yeah.
was to have peace,
Yeah.
right, for herself and whoever else wanted to do it. But when we worked all the way out to thankful, that is what a gratitude journal is, right? You're finding the things that you're thankful for in that day or moment or week or however often you did it to bring you more of that peaceful state. Oh.
It's so funny that you say that. I was just chatting with a friend about their mental health, and they were chatting with their counselor, and their counselor was like, you need to start, I don't think she called it a gratitude journal, but like a thankfulness log. I can't remember.
Okay.
But it was because she was hyper-focusing on anything that would go wrong.
Right.
And so, of course, she's spending a lot of time in the mad and sad categories, right? And that is all her brain could see. And what do we know about the brain? Imagination is the same as reality. So if you're spending a ton of time thinking on it, your wheel is just going to be, I didn't say this, they're color-coded, so I hope you guys look this up, but you'll be in the blue and red category way too much.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit in the brown, too. Like,
Sure.
scared. Like,
100% in the brown category.
yes.
Yeah.
And so this is the beauty of therapy. When you're talking about things, you can have an outside source give you a tool to bring you back into, like, to balance those feelings. Again, it's okay to be scared. It's a survival mechanism, right? Like, it's okay to be mad. That is a natural response, and there are plenty of things to be mad about.
Yes.
And let's balance our mind to have a focus into that joyful category, into the
Joyful, peaceful, and powerful.
Powerful. And I want to explore the powerful one a little bit too.
Oof.
Yeah. Can you tell me, so your thoughts and feelings are, you're like, what is this?
Well, back to our language, right? Words are powerful.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
When I hear the word powerful,
Yeah.
it just immediately triggers in me aggressive for some reason.
And I think it can be aggressive because if you think about, like, well, okay, so there's a category called powerful. It's technically on, like, again, I hate saying the positive side, but, right, like...
The brighter
side, no, it's more on the ideal side, right?
Okay.
Like, feeling anger isn't necessarily ideal. I think that's an okay distinction, right?
Okay.
Feeling sadness isn't ideal.
Yeah.
Like,
but necessary.
Necessary.
At times. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Totally necessary. I'm guessing... Okay, I have a couple thoughts. I'm getting really excited
Oh,
about
I like it. Okay.
First,
okay.
I love that powerful's on here for a couple of reasons. So on the second layer, someone that is feeling the feeling of powerful, they're going to present as faithful, right? Important. They're hopeful because I think of powerful as almost like, it always usually goes with control. And again, control is not a bad thing.
Right.
But if you feel like you have control over your circumstances, it's easier to hope, right? Like, opposite of despair.
Control over yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel
100%. Which I think control, again, I immediately go to someone else has control over me, right?
Oh, yeah, no, that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why, I think if I can frame powerful into making myself
Yeah.
feel powerful,
Walking into that
then
room.
it all makes sense.
Shoulder
Then it
pads
all
up.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're high kicking during your grief presentation. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, this is...
Oh, there you go.
And so, but I do think, which is really interesting, feeling powerful, like everything else, should be processed, right? Like, I am feeling all these feelings, because the other ones are, you feel appreciated because you know it. You have, like, this sense of purpose. You're doing it.
Doing a good job.
And you're proud. And you know what? Effing be proud of yourself. Like,
oh.
I get so frustrated with the pride cometh before fall wise tale or whatever, because I think women are, I am sex assigned to birth female, I identify as a woman, and I am very socially ingrained in womanness.
Yes.
And we are taught to never be proud of anything because
No.
it will always come bite us in the butt.
Yep.
Being proud is a great emotion.
We should be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have accomplished shit. Like, that's a big deal. Like,
yes. You go, girl.
celebrate it.
Yes.
Live in that. Like,
Yeah.
process it, because if you don't, it'll affect your self-esteem.
Right.
Like, but then I think then we get to our outer layer of this powerful piece, and you see someone, if they're feeling powerful, they present confident. They present with high intellect, right? Like, you don't doubt what they're saying.
Oh.
You feel like their presence is worthwhile, which is, again,
Ooh.
I think women do not live in this powerful and they should. You are fucking worth it, right? Like,
oh, I love this.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. You are satisfied.
Oh.
And you present cheerful. Which is, I think, one of the things I think of when I think of this powerful piece of the puzzle is I think of, like, the cool girls in every high school drama.
Uh-huh.
And how that is always, like, reflected so negatively. But the truth is self-confidence and feeling good about yourself is an emotion we should feel.
Yes.
And it doesn't make you, if you're a female, it doesn't make you bad to be confident.
Yeah.
Like, I love Demi Lovato's Confident song.
Oh, yes.
I love it.
Oh, yes.
So much.
Do you think that the wheel is the way it is intentionally? Do you think there's like a opposite, like,
Yes.
powerful straight across from mad, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think there's some sort of...
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry. Yes, they're juxtapositions of each other.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So purposely, like, there's a kitty cat that just ran across.
Oh, hi, kitty.
Oh, Captain's mad.
Get him, Captain.
Get him. You guys, we face the outside window, and I have a cat, and he's very protective of the front yard. And this very cute little cat just ran across, and Captain is upset. They'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll work out. Cats.
Let's process Captain's feelings.
He right now is feeling probably a mixture of mad and powerful, I bet.
The juxtaposed feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And I think...
So
Yeah.
do you think it's... I'm just trying to think of how do I use that then, right? When I'm feeling mad, if that's juxtaposed with powerful, can I use some of those powerful things to help balance that out? I don't know. I'm just thinking off the cuff right now.
No, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Because, okay, so I think the times that I would imagine feeling the most mad, right, like, is you're frustrated, you're furious, you're irritated, you're jealous, and I think of almost a lack of control, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, you're not in control of the situation, but then you have the juxtaposition of powerful, where, like, powerful has all these positive things because you're like, I've got this.
Okay.
So I think absolutely, and it's why balance is so very important, because, again, things will make you angry. They should, right?
Yeah.
And if you are also building that the other side of the wheel where you are spending time feeling confident, you are, and this really goes to a suggestion we had. Someone wrote in and said, hey, can we talk about, like, what do you do when everything seems super bleak, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people are losing human rights. Like, like how do you really?
Yeah.
And this is by no means just the answer, but it really has to do with like looking to that wheel for balance. Yeah.
Can I bring up an example and work through it with you?
I want
right now
so bad.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was very mad at a coworker recently. And just while we're going through this and going through the different layers, I'm realizing I'm frustrated with them.
Okay.
They did something I asked them. I specifically asked them not to do.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
In my personal space, in my office, right? So very frustrated by that.
Yeah.
Rightly so, right?
Yeah.
But I love that even from this, I'm getting, okay, I was frustrated. I'm not actually mad at that person. I'm frustrated with the choices they made.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, how do I flip that? How do I use powerful? How do I use some of those feelings and words and find those pieces of me to balance that frustration out or to get out of that
I love that
mad loop, right?
Well, I love that because I think that, again, we're females, so I would assume your experience is somewhat similar. I also know you intimately, so I know it is. Like, we have been taught to not feel powerful, right?
Right.
So I think finding the times that you do feel confident, that you do feel good about yourself, like celebrating and living in that. Like when you crushed your grief presentation, I didn't even see it. I know you crushed it because it's you. Celebrate that. Live in that. Feel that. Like let your body be proud. And maybe that looks like a tangible text me. Text somebody. I just nailed this. Yeah. And I feel really good about myself. I will celebrate that so hard. Yeah. But like really living in those pieces of anything and everything. Like, you know me, I'm a fan of celebration, but it is letting your body process the feelings of powerful just like you are spending so much time. Why am I irritated with this person? And I think then you get this really cool, like almost natural balance because again, I'd be super pissed off if someone came into my space. Working from home is such a blessing. Yeah. Like I can't even describe to you because for all the reasons. Yeah. And I swear to God, if someone came into my space and moved my shit, and I don't even care if it's my pencil case, and you know what, honestly my office isn't even that clean. Oh, the level of but I think I think the reason I'm even more frustrated is because I did, not knowing it, I was in my power place and told that person, no, I don't want this in my space. And so when they did it when I wasn't there, I think it made me even more frustrated, right? Oh my God, yeah. Because it's like, no, wait, I was using my power. I was sitting in my power and my confidence and like, no, this is my space. And then they still... So now I want to figure out how to bounce back into that confidence. Okay. And I'll work on that personally. Sure. But I just love this juxtaposition of when I'm feeling one way, how do I pull that other side? I love that. In? Yeah. Yeah. Oh. And it really is like a balance, right? So, you know, when really, really sad things happen, you are going to live in that sadness for a while, right? And it's so helpful to have relationships to remind us of that joyful side. Yes. Right? Like, and again, none of this is saying like you should jump out of sadness into joyful. No, it's balancing it. It's balancing. You have to have both. You absolutely. It's a human experience. Yeah. And I think so. Really, kind of understanding that, and we'll do an episode about like what do you do when things seem really, really, really bleak. But I think a tiny piece of the answer is understanding this balance between like and letting yourself process all of them, because I think a lot of times we're like, I feel peaceful, but we don't process that. No, we don't do like. We don't celebrate it. We don't even recognize it. Oh gosh, no. We're like, oh, I didn't get punched in the face today. That's so great. Let's try tomorrow. You know, like. But who's gonna punch me tomorrow? We're always, beautiful anxiety brain. I was just gonna say, waiting. Anxiety brain. Yeah. Oh God bless. Always waiting for that next thing. But emotions are beautiful, and I feel somewhat immature. Like I didn't have this knowledge growing up, and so there's a lot I'm still exploring. Yeah. So I think it'll be fun for us to revisit it too and just kind of like explore more. Yeah. But I really encourage people, an emotions wheel is so helpful to either work top down, bottom up,
Yep.
and start to kind of identify those feelings and let yourself feel them.
Yes.
Just you want to be sad? I love that. How
Do
can I support
it.
you? And again, the emotions wheel is really helpful when you are in relationship with other people,
Mm-hmm.
because it will give you the articulation so a partner can support you.
Yeah.
So it is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
It's a necessity, right?
Yeah.
So
Identify them and then feel them.
and say them.
Yeah.
I love that 3 level.
Yeah.
Identify, say them, say them. It doesn't actually, that
No.
word doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Actually, yeah, the whole trifecta doesn't matter.
All of them together.
Yeah, all of them together. And yes, feel them. I think we could do a whole episode on how to feel your feelings.
Yeah.
In fact, maybe we should do that next.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. We'll table, we were going to talk about using your words, which is also equally important.
It all is. All
It
of
all
our
is.
episodes are important.
But I think if we reflect next episode on how we feel these core feelings, times we've been successful and not successful, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Because we are an hour into this episode.
Sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not
Hashtag
sorry.
sorry, not sorry.
This is a good one, though. Like,
It's a good
this is, to me, this was a tool that kind of changed my life.
Yeah.
Not having this background. And what's really fun is, like, now that I'm a practitioner, I see us teaching kids this.
Oh.
And oh my gosh, it is the most wonderful thing when a kid comes up to you and they're like, I'm frustrated.
Yes.
And you're like, I didn't even know what that word meant when I was your age.
It's
like,
so true. You're right. We used to get in trouble for feeling feelings. And my time in working in special education, it's true. I remember saying, hey,
Yeah.
it's okay for you to feel whatever feeling you're feeling right now. Still can't punch someone.
No.
But the feeling you're feeling is okay. Let's talk about that. Yeah.
And let's talk about healthy ways to express it.
Oh my goodness. What?
Oh my gosh, I'm super excited for
We've
next
come a
episode.
long way.
Yeah. Okay, we'll conclude. Join us next time. We're going to talk about and reflect on times we have processed feelings and how we've done it.
Ugh.
And hopefully
can
we'll
do
have
it.
some successes.
We
Successes
will.
in there.
We will.
But you'll definitely hear some of our failures.
Oh yeah.
I mean, failures are kind of the best because
Sharing is caring.
sharing
So-
is caring, and maybe you can learn from things I didn't necessarily do right.
Okay. Right, wrong. I don't like right, wrong.
Oh my gosh, but have a wonderful rest of your day.
Yeah.
If you have comments or ideas or just want to share a feeling, fucking email.
Tell us what feeling on the feeling wheel
I'm
our
interested.
episode made you feel.
I'm 1,000% interested.
Yeah. Just one word. Just email us one word.
Oh, hopefully nobody's like confused.
No, do, because then we can clarify on another episode. But do tell us if you're confused.
Yes.
I could see us being a little confusing. We
Well,
run around.
my
We're
brain,
not a straight line.
my brain is all over
We
the place.
get from A to B. We do.
Oh, dude.
But
yeah.
we squiggle a little bit in there. So
Yeah.
if you're confused, that's okay.
And I support it.
Yeah.
And it would be like the greatest email. to get.
Identify you're confused.
Yeah. Ooh.
Name that you're confused.
Is confused? I bet it's under scared, don't you think?
Oh, I don't know that.
It is.
Words.
It is under scared.
Yeah.
Confused. Because that makes sense. Because, yeah, confusion, it puts you into fight or flight pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then tell us so we can help bring some peace to that confusion. Let us know.
Hashtag throwback to a couple
we can
minutes ago.
clarify.
That was good. It was really, that was good.
Hashtag rewind.
Hashtag rewind. Okay.
Brr, brr, brr.
Yeah, we need that sound.
We do need a soundboard. Okay. We love
Oh,
you. Thank you
love
for
you.
joining. We'll be back to feel feels with you and each other.
Have a great night.